Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing on Magnificent Monday Massacre? I don't know what it is. Hey, thank you for being here. Hey, Christoph. Well, you're very welcome. Just trying to be here for as many people as possible, especially that might have not been through a lot of markets like this. You are welcome, Kalani. You are welcome, Davey. Cheap coffee money. What's that in reference to? Midday Mike. Welcome, Patrick. Again, you are welcome, Kalani. Hello. Swaghetti. Again, another new person who's tuning into multiples. Aye, well, let's see. I'm not even going to bother with the subscribe. Hey, Sashi, if you want to be here and you want some good market information, then subscribe. If not, oh well, sorry. By the way, just something to note. You generally do. I've got so many messages on this little rally. Is that the low? Is that the low? Should I be a buyer? Should I be doing? First off, the low on what time period? And things change after the open. We broke down again, but then you just watch the 1 hour rotation zone. We spiked in the 1 hour rotation zone with the breakdown level, and now we're rolling back over. I know you see my things because it's very consistent the way I analyze stuff. I'm going to be watching where this hour closes in relation to the 62 and a half. All right. We start closing up and we can get a strong rotation of about 37.85. Excuse me, my allergies are bugging me. There could be another little pop higher this afternoon. If we push lower, I'll be watching for the potential double to go. Remember, we came down to our harmonic level and we've bounced nicely. We spiked through it a little. Again, everything's not an exact stopping point. If it does roll down, if we come back down to the 75, the area for a potential double, then we're not there yet. But then what would I be watching? I'd be watching, and I know this is not valid yet, so you can't use these unless we push down below about 37.66, 37.66.75. Okay. And what else am I watching? Then this is another great way. If we do push lower the minor levels, then use your reverse harmonics for this afternoon. I'd be really keying off 37.42 than 37.34. The market has gone a long way down, but it's really interesting. You don't generally form a major bottom. This is the European bounce. Europe closing, the unwinding of Europe stuff. And then you generally get some kind of retest. We've already retested 50 to 62. I would not be surprised though if we do at least push lower to form a double. How would I play that if it wasn't waiting till it triggers? I'd be watching for momentum bars coming in, especially around 2 p.m. Central. So that'd be 3 p.m. Eastern. Or I'll just go off Central Time, 2:30. If we got some momentum bars, could be a little front run pattern into a little bounce relief. Tomorrow could be turnaround Tuesday. If the PPI numbers, remember that's major PPI numbers tomorrow morning. If they were coming in slightly better than expected, could you get a little relief rally going into J Powell on Wednesday? Yeah. So this is very tactile, but I'm trying to give people information. If you don't need to do anything, don't do anything. You don't need to try to call a bottom. If you want to be the safe play, hopefully we do get a setup with a double and you wait for it to trigger. But a bottom like this could have been a couple hour bottom and then we could go take it out this afternoon. The trend is still down. We've entered the 1 hour rotation zone and this was a bearish response to it. Okay, you see there's trying to spike up above this breakdown area and then boom. And now it's rolling over again. But this gets a little thinner, and the market depth is not great. So remember, even decent-sized orders can push stuff around pretty rapidly. Again, don't try to be a hero, because is this the bear market bottom? No. Okay? It might be a bottom. Could it be a bottom for a week? Theoretically, we haven't even made a strong bottoming formation yet. Anything can happen. It's tactile trading. The biggest advice I can give you is to watch, especially if we form like that double bottom thing, watch for momentum bars. NASDAQ, the key level to form that double bottom would be at least below 11,397.25. I'll put up the levels. Let me actually put up the reverse harmonics first. because that gives us key breakdown for this afternoon. So 11,318 to 11,291 if it does push lower. Now we don't have the official double in play, and I'd actually switch this to conservative targets if we do it, but I don't know. We don't even have that low in yet. So you'd be watching for that move above this high, 11,558.50. You see that spike in the rotation zone, and then 11. I'll just give you the aggressive targets: 11,665, 11,718, 11,772. Where would that take us? You always got to look at the bigger picture. Because, yes, it would just take us back. Look how far we're extended from the 4-hour rotation zone, and it just takes back to a reconnection with the 4-hour rotation zone on both of these. So that would be the only short-term bounce trade that I'm watching for. But the only way to front run it, because the peak is a little far off, would be with some momentum bars. It's still, keep an eye on this 1 hour. Don't worry about some 15-minute close during lunch. And we even have to have the 15-minute close. But don't worry about the 15-minute close below this level. You really want at least a full hour to play out. Again, Kalani, thank you for the super chat. Oh, please. Again, we have potential. But this, if we had a potential setup, that would be for a short-term bounce. There's a ton of other things. If I had to bet, no, the weekly bottom is not in. We have too much stuff and too much volatility coming out, and we don't have, in order to get a possible weekly bottom in, I need at least some kind of daily pattern. Do we have a daily pattern based off this bar? No. There is no daily pattern here yet. So it's just, if somebody tells you, it's a guess. And if you have a 15-minute or 1 hour pattern, could that theoretically turn into a major low? Yeah, but it'd be like me saying, hey, we got a 15-minute double. That could be the weekly low. No, because it could go up and hit the targets and then roll over again. That would be very irresponsible. This is where in tactile trading, you have to be careful and stop trying to call every bottom. Wait for the higher probability trade. That's what I can stress. What does it matter? Let me ask you a question. Does it matter if you bought 37.67 or you waited for momentum and then you got in at 38.15 and you rode the trade to 38.84? No, it doesn't matter because your position sizing is going to be different and your stop level is going to be different, and you can still make money either way. Thank you, Lauren, for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Hey, how you doing? Can you please touch on crude? I was going to get there. Yeah. Glad you're having a decent day, Ken. Thank you for being here. I was going to jump to crude next. Crude, actually, with what's going on in Libya, you got the spike back into here. I put on the short-term harmonics. You can see here. And, close and then, boom, take off from that harmonic level. This is still toppy price action, but based off what's going on in Libya, this could easily still make the push higher. Daily cycles have rolled over, but, they are getting to the bottom pretty rapidly, and we got the first push higher. So if this Libya situation doesn't clear up, then, yeah, we could easily at least see this 125 area. You still got to trade with the trend. Now, stocks, it's a different... I've said raise your stops on oil because these things are going to trade a lot like the market too. All right? Like things like Exxon is why oil's up and Exxon's, recovering, but why did it get hammered? Because it's still a friggin' stock. And it was pretty much earlier today, just sell everything. Sell everything. Let's even see if this comes up right now. This is not a happy market. Okay, CME Group's doing well. Look at that, CME Group. But other than that, this is just blood on the street. And when you get markets like this, it's literally you're throwing out everything together, even though oil's bouncing up a bit. So that's the key thing. I'm still watching for, again, oil to get a strong close today. Then I'll start targeting some follow through over the next couple days for another rotation push higher. You still got to trade with the trend until it ends. And weekly still at the top, but not rolling over. So it's a little cautious up here. Tighter stops. Tighter stops for me. Tighter stops, but still got to trade the move. What else do we see? Again, throwing out everything like gold, just getting that reversing Friday's move. Has inflation changed? No, and I know we're not going to get into a big argument. Is inflation hedged or not? Or is it a risk on or risk off hedge? I'm not going to get into this, but it's throw everything away today. Copper just getting beat up. Looks like it might close below 62.5, so we can hit the lows with that. Dollar approaching the highs back from the 13th of May, so that statistically filled out that. VIX, you saw a little pullback here. Again, this is delayed data, but I'm watching. If you start breaking down on the VIX below the opening low, pay attention. If you start getting momentum on the VIX below the opening low, you see these two lows here, but you start getting momentum, we could get that could also trigger the reversal move. Keep an eye on that. Notes, even back, I mean, notes are just getting crushed. These moves are in the treasury market are literally mind-blowing. And I don't know how many people here trade treasuries, but these, when you see, I mean, look at this. Look at yields in one day. This is a massive bar between Friday and today. I mean, when yields rallying 6% from Friday's close is huge. By the way, this is almost taking this potential double off the table. But these are huge moves in the treasury. The again, that yield curve bouncing back a little, but I'm just going to be watching for there's some pressure on the short end of the curve. You can see the 3 month. Look at this move in the 3 month. Look at that move. Absolutely huge. I also said that with more stuff. Oh, thank you very much for the super chat shot, Sashi. Short Dow Jones at approximately 39.20 to 30. Looks like a possibility in 5-minute chart. Hold on. Again, I hate going over short-term charts with people. It gets, you know, you start breaking below here. That's your little return short right now. Remember, it's very thin markets you have during lunch, but if you're targeting a Dow, a breakdown below about 30,585 would be the play to the short side. That's weird. So that's where we sit. Oh, what else? I forgot what else I was going to go over. Oh, was that? I forgot. Now I just blanked out. This. Oh crap! Now I forgot the symbol. I just blanked out. But the Japanese yen 10-year is it broke its peg. Essentially, the Japanese, the financial authorities there were trying to keep it pegged at 0.25. I put that in Discord earlier, and that broke. I forgot what the silly thing was. Gosh darn it. That's what I thought it was. JP. Oh, that's why. JP. Sorry about that. I had a brain fart. Tend to have JP 10-year. Keep an eye on this. That's not the one. Oh. Where is it? We'll just use this one. Keep an eye on this. It's back down. They're trying to keep the peg below 0.25. You see this big spike. They had to dump massive amounts of money into this. So keep an eye. If this really breaks, that's where they're trying to keep the peg. There could be in a world for a lot of hurt. As long as this is staying back down here, fine. But if you're on here, it's JP10Y. really do keep an eye on this, because if you get a close, this could break out of a major peg, which will be very, very interesting for the yen. See, with this long tail, at one point it was all the way up above, what was the high today? Above, what was the high? 33. So that was a massive breakout on a basis point thing, and now they've got to keep the peg in here. So please keep an eye on that, because if you see that really break again, it could really start affecting the markets. And again, this looks like it's trying to hold here, but if we really get momentum above 135.15, all bets are off with the yen, and you could see some more carnage in our markets. Looks like it's still trying to hold that 62.5. Now, if we break above here, you cannot use, without retesting the 75, you cannot use these targets. It gets interesting, though. You start getting up into the 38.21. You are in this clear path area. Then what would I target? I'd target the breakdown zone. Okay? So that would be the breakdown zone for the S&P. The breakdown zone for the NASDAQ would be here, and it'd be just above that 1 hour rotation zone, and still well off the 4 hour, but then you still have the other higher time frame, but that would be the first target if you're trying to do anything aggressive to the long side. Thank you, Sterling. I do not think so. No, I do not think so. Yeah, so just that's why I'm throwing at other things that are really interesting, that I want everybody to just, you can put it in your watch list. Again, Sterling put it up in here, JP10Y. Put it in your watch list and just check on it periodically, especially if you start to see things. And that's just not for today. I keep an eye on that for the next few days. So that's something else to watch for. So if we start to really get this rally on, and this delay, I hate that it's delayed. I can't subscribe to real-time fixed data in here, so I can't show you real time. But you start breaking back below 32.16 with some momentum, then we could start be putting in at least a short-term bottom. Could it even last through tomorrow morning at most? Do we know? Because no, remember, and then I'm going to wrap this up to not waste anybody's time. Remember, is this going to come up for me? Just remember, this is why you don't know this week. You have PPI tomorrow. All right, first before the market even opens. So even if we got that bounce and it continued in through the Europe situation, could this change it tomorrow? And then even before JPOW and the rate announcement, we got retail sales at 7:30 on Wednesday. So this is very tactile trading, everyone. If you don't manage positions, just don't try to call something and use stops, and don't try to double down. Like if you're trying to play the counter trend move and it rolls over, don't then say, okay, I'm buying more here, I'm buying more here, I'm buying more here, because you could get into another washout move headed lower. Thanks. 32.45. I wish they would let us subscribe. 32.45. So yeah, really watch this 32 to 32.25 area if it starts rolling over. With that, I will be back, everyone. I will be back for the close. Again, you're better to be safe. If you don't have a trade, sit on your hands. There'll always be another opportunity to make money when things are a lot stable. There's no point in putting risk capital, especially aggressive risk capital, in the market if you don't have a strong setup. And please manage risk first. Yep, it's so far held, but we're still in lunch. You can get some interesting moves. Liquidity is even lower in lunch. So start paying attention in the next about 45 minutes to what it does for early shots, because it could still roll over easily. All right, with that, I will talk to everyone later. Hope everyone has a great rest of your trading day. Bye for now.